Hello, and welcome to Let's Not Storm Off Like a Big Baby Like Piers Morgan. I am Tom Elwes. I'm joined today, as ever, by my co-host, Mr. Ali Woods.
Right, that's enough. Okay. Nope, not doing it. Not having it. All right.
Diabolical behaviour, this. Classic.
It's so good. Oh, I enjoyed it so much. I watched that clip a lot. You were saying, Tom, in the previous two times we tried to record this podcast, that, that he was planning it. He was planning it.
Don't let them into the secrets.
I stormed off the other two times, but I actually did it. So he was planning it, was he?
So there was a clip that went viral from a couple of years ago, apparently, where he said, one day it will get too much and the PC Warriors will win and I'll just storm off live on air. I'll quit live on air. Not storm off, quit live on air. And he did. He did quit like a big, massive fucking bell-end wuss that he is. Like, I've never been a fan of Piers Morgan. Even when people were saying, "Oh, he's coming back around. Oh, in the summer, like look what he's doing with COVID." I was just like, "Nah, he's still a bellend, and he's proved himself to be so." Like, I've just never been a fan.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. Also, he's an Arsenal fan though, so I thought you and him would be good mates, and you'd be like, "Oh, Piers, mate, always gets it right." The thing is, right? So we're going straight into it anyway. The thing is, I heard some people going like, "Yeah, mate, good riddance to Piers. Like, he's not going to get any jobs now." And I was like, "Are you serious?" He is so right for any of those. A YouTube channel, his own YouTube channel, or that new right-wing, well, not right-wing, but supposedly unwoke or non-PC news channel. No, not Parler, but it's like a new news channel that one of the big media moguls is starting. And I'm like, obviously they're just going to give him a show.
Yeah, prime time.
Like he's got so much.
He'll be sandwiched between like Alex Jones and Tracy, the anti-vaxxer from Doncaster, who blew up on Facebook.
Is that right? Is there someone? I was going to say, because now when you're in the world where you're like, I can believe that Tracy, Tracy Rotherham, just I'm coming in. Tracy from Rotherham. Right, okay. We've got Diana on the line. Diana, right. Now, tell us about yeah, so it's funny, right? So my granddad, right, he got vaccine. Yeah. Only 6 months later, dropped down dead. Now they said it was because he fell down of a heart attack. Because he fell down some stairs. I don't believe that. Yeah. It's like, well, look, now we proved it. We proved it. Right?
Yeah. Look, you can't deny facts. Facts are facts. And, he's no longer with us. So,
If this vaccine were proper right, why are they taking so long to get it out to everyone? Makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you think, wouldn't they just give it out to everyone?
Amazon can deliver a package to everyone in the country every day if they wanted to. And yet you're telling me that we can't get vaccine to every... I think not. I won't be having it. It's not even real. So, it'll be Alex Jones and the Gay Frogs, and then Piers Morgan and his Auntie Meghan, and then Tracy taking the sort of late night spot. And
the late night talk radio call-in that we've talked about before, where they just have to let the callers go on because there's there's no other callers. So you
just let them ramble.
You know, just gotta be like, Ali, well, this is Boris Johnson is a robot.
Yeah,
tell me more.
Ali, this is finally where we could get our show to a big audience, and we could really get through the android reptiles that clearly run the world. Like we've been peddling it for a while, and it's finally a breakout moment for us. So I'll be writing in to get us a show. I hope you all listen. I'm not putting up with these android reptiles. I can't. It's been too much.
We can be silent no longer. There's so much of that as well of you're not allowed to say anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's completely unfair. You're silenced. And I'm tweeting this to my 3 million followers.
Yeah. You accuse one ambassador of being an android paedophile, okay? And then that's it. Like, that's it. They're all over you, okay? It's crazy.
The woke police.
Oh, God. God. I've got hard proof he's an android. So, it's...
So, going straight into the Piers stuff, I will... really want to give big respect to the weatherman, Alex, on Good Morning Britain, who was so eloquent in what he said that it made Piers Morgan implode. And that I really like that he what he was talking about in terms of in terms of the stuff he'd had to sit through that had been just vile mouthing off that Piers does on that show all the time, and standing up, and as a person of color in a workplace which is predominantly white on a flagship show, it's a very brave thing to do. As London Hughes, who's a black female comedian, doing very well, tweeted out, she used to work on a children's show on ITV, and she was CITV, and she was the only person of color on that show. And she says it's very difficult to speak out if you're on racial issues in that environment, because it's easier to just move you on and get someone else in. So big up to him, and that was great. And then now it's like, well, we can't wait for Piers's it's the world news
prime time. What the real, it'll be called like the Real News Service or something, or like it's gonna have an awful name, and just
mouthing off, no holds barred. If it ain't woke, don't fix it. Something like that.
True Britain TV or something like that. That'll be along those lines. I would have thought that would be.
I think it was really, really good to see Alex, the weatherman guy, do that. It was really inspiring, I thought, and fair play to him. And it's great to see Piers leave and the jokes coming out about him. I mean, I as you were saying before, I did like that he held the government to account when a lot of the major broadcasters weren't. I thought that was good to reveal the incompetencies that the likes of Matt Hancock is part of. And that was good. But as you say, like, often once a bell end, always a bell end. And it's just about who the target is.
For as much as like good people can make one mistake, which I don't agree with, and that they can still be, there is equally bad people who can do one good thing, but that doesn't not make them a bad end. So
especially when the issues are so core to them, like the values are so core, like that Meghan is this like awful person. And I liked, apparently there's something weird about, they went for drinks once, or they used to have a sort of
they had a relationship. They had a relationship, and then it broke down, and that's why it's personal. That's why people think he's so vile, like the attack.
But what does that mean? They had a relationship? Did they go out?
No.
I was gonna say I was like
no.
What?
They had a working relationship where I think he was a journalist and she would tell him stories.
He was a journalist, she was an actor. Can I make it any more obvious?
He became racist. She said, I'm not interested in you anymore. And now he's storming off the show.
Well. He was a racist boy. They said, see you later, boy. Good morning, Britain, not for you.
I'm going to Sky. Gotta come back alive. Classic stuff there.
Classic stuff, man. That single will be out this Christmas. We need a few months to get it together, but it's pretty much there. Yeah, exactly. It's only available on CD-ROM. That's the thing with our singles. You can get the full album on CD. Gift for your kids. So that's that one. But look, man, like, it's good to see this changing of the waves on primetime television. But the people there's loads of people in this country who love Piers Morgan, and he will be back for sure. People think, because there's a lot of people who think he's that whole thing of like, he says the things you're not supposed to say. Or you're not allowed to say.
I do understand on primetime telly having a barometer of views. That is important, and if you are going to have sort of what alleged independent broadcasting, you do need to have, a full swing and spectrum of views to represent everyone in the country. But when someone is just being incessantly
but do you think
personally attacking someone and making it personal, that's where.
But do you think they would have got rid of him if he didn't walk off, though? Do you think they would have got rid of him if he didn't walk off? I don't think they would.
I don't think they would have. I think his kind of his weight within the company and how how big he's probably one of like the ITV's highest paid talents. I would have thought like he's got a massive swing. Like even government say they use him as a barometer of how the country are feeling sometimes. Like I've heard that like them genuinely be like, he has a pretty broad stroke appeal, but he just got this one. He got it way wrong. He just fucking.
Well, no, he got it wrong for us, but there's loads of people. The majority of people don't like Harry and Meghan, but Meghan Markle especially in this country, they don't like her. But
even if you didn't think that about the race thing, not taking race out of it, you got the mental health factor. Just alone on that, it's just so vile,
But I think that's the attitude of the country that a lot of people would agree with Piers that she's making it up. That's the saddest thing about all of this, is that I think most people would actually agree with him in this country, and that is wrong.
Yeah. I did the journalist asking William, "Are you a racist family?" That was, you heard him. Yeah, you saw him prick up and just be like, no, and it's just, oh fuck,
no. Racist, royal family, the least racist people.
I don't think it was William. I think it was probably older members of the family who would have just made that comment to Harry. But it's pretty bonkers. It's just showing you like.
The interview was excellent. It was so good. It's such good television. I was sort of like, last week I was like, I can't really be arsed. It's just rich people complaining. I mean, they had a fucking banging garden with some nice chairs. Respect to that.
Solid chickens.
But, mate, the chicken. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meghan's like, I always wanted a chicken coop. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Like, there were some things at the beginning of the family. Like, there were some when she said, like, I just had no idea what it would be like marrying into the royal family. I didn't even Google it. Nothing. I was like, what? Shut the fuck up. That's just no. Like, of course you did. However, I
had no idea what the British anthem was. The national.
Yeah. It's like what? Like that's I don't buy that necessarily, but the racism that she received and the lack of help and support for her mental health, I really do believe that happened to her, and that is the sort of awful.
Stiff upper lip. That's what they would have said. They would have said, we're all depressed, Meghan. You've got to sort of stiffen up.
But I've just, after watching the Diana, unfold, like that family you would have thought would be more sympathetic to.
They're like, good riddance. Good riddance to those who can't. Good riddance to those who can't hack it. This royal duty.
Yeah.
People love the Brit royal family though. It is one of the things that this country is least divided on, is the affection for the royal family. Genuinely.
But like, it's one of the things that the world. So like, but you talk about fame, and you talk about people being famous. There are very few people in the entire planet. I'm talking Cristiano Ronaldo, but everyone knows who the Queen is. There's not a country on earth that the Queen or like members of the royal family could walk into and people would be like, I don't know who that is. Fucking everyone. So it's a level of insane fame that you just can't even fathom. Also, like the real shit thing, like Harry having his security taken away from him. I'm just like,
that was weird.
You didn't choose to be a prince, like you just bought into it, right? You don't have an option to leave. So to just be, I don't know.
It was weird.
It was all a shit show.
It was a good interview though. Yeah, but the Queen versus Cristiano Ronaldo. But has the Queen ever won the Euros? No. So how many Champions League goals has the Queen got? Very few. So
country did win a war. I don't know.
Well, you know.
Well, I did win a bloody war. Yeah.
Portugal would be Spain if it weren't for us. So,
yeah.
But moving on to maybe slightly more uplifting news. Tom Elwes is now officially signed, sealed, and delivered actor.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I've always been pursuing my acting career, it looks like I'm being put up for some roles. Apparently, being put up for things like Holby City. So
we want to have the
podcast gold that we would have if or when I make a lowbrow BBC TV show will be excellent.
When you're regular, you couldn't be a doctor because that'd be too much. They'd want you in a sort of slightly simpler role, maybe like a janitor.
Yeah, hospital janitor.
A hospital, or like whoever comes and cleans up the shit that the patients have. That's your job, and then you'll be there. You'll get a lot of sort of women in their 50s who'll message you on Facebook. They don't have Instagram. They'll message you on Facebook and be like,
"What's changed?"
Tom, yeah, even more than normal. Tom, you're so handsome. I love when you come on and clean up the poo.
Yeah.
And then you'll have that's where your agent comes in, steps in and says, like, Tom is available for like visits to your birthday and stuff, 50 quid.
Take you to the theatre, 100
yeah,
quid.
Exactly.
Like,
100 quid. Yeah,
exactly.
You can introduce him to your daughter. He won't do anything, but you can introduce him. That'll be you. And then, then this podcast will be really flying, because then we can get the latest whole Hobby City goss. Can find out what's going on behind the scenes.
Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. This week on Hobby City, all I do is Hobby City. But genuinely though, congratulations on being signed, Tom. How does it feel?
It feels like I don't know. I probably not as how I feel like some people are like, yeah. I'm just like, yeah. And I think I'm a very realist when it comes to being. We've had many people on this podcast who have signed with massive agents, and some have done amazingly well, and some have done absolutely nothing. So it doesn't really mean anything. I still think in this business, in the current state that it's in, everything has to sort of be self-generated to some extent now, and I think like self-promotion and self-making is the most important thing. But it is nice, and like hopefully I'll get to be in rooms that I wouldn't necessarily have been in before, and that is really incredible. And yeah, I'm just genuinely really thankful that someone's taken a punt on me.
Oh, look at, he's so media trained as well, humble, and just comes out with the right lines. Love it. It's RBM, isn't it, the agency?
Yeah.
And were your parents happy for you, or did they go, so what does that mean?
Yeah, what was that? What? They were like, so you're gonna get money now, or what? Like,
you're like, well, no, actually, they're gonna take money.
Yeah, if anything, I'm actually gonna lose money for a bit, but like actually, like eventually, there's an outside chance.
But what do your parents say? Are they happy?
My parents are pretty just down the line. They're like, if I was to get Hobby City, they would be hyped. That's
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, that's something that my mum can go to her friends and be like, Tom is Hobby City. Like,
fuck you. I know your niece was in Casualty, but Tom is in Hobby City. Definitely better.
3-episode run. Okay, so that's.
He's up for Emmerdale. He's up for Emmerdale next.
He needs to back the fuck down. Yeah, he needs to. He could be in Emmerdale. You no idea. So yeah,
I can see you in Emmerdale as a sort of handsome farmer that gave up the city life to go live.
Well, I did have to make my acting profile, and they said you had to be honest with what are sort of accents you can do.
Can you stop doing a Nigerian accent, please?
Yeah. It always said I could do a pretty solid West Country accent, which I can. And then the other accents, I said, like, I'm learning a sort of standard American, because you need that for auditions. And I could do a Northern. Because obviously my dad's from just below Hull, so can do pretty standard. Like, me and the lads have a laugh.
Just a bit of banter.
Yeah, a bit of banter. Me and the boys, go out and sound like, I can't wait. 21st of June, gonna be a party. But yeah, so I can do that, right? And then I'm learning my standard American. But he was like, this is what they tell you. Apparently, you shouldn't do standard American. It's better to have a regional American accent. So, like, trying to learn a sort of Southern accent, quite difficult. It's quite difficult to not go full Colonel Sanders. That's the real.
Well, they cost you.
I've seen eyeballing me across the bar, and I want to tell you.
They
had enough of your chitter chatter.
That's what they were saying. They're like, they like, look, obviously we want you to go and be in Hollywood, but we're realists. You're going to have to be the bad guy. That is what you're going to be.
No, they were like, they're going to put me up for some sort of like teen drama based in California, and I'm going to go into the audition and be like, well, hello, Nancy. I see.
And they just quietly go, sir, can you please leave the building? Thank you very much.
Guys, do you want to go ahead and go?
Why do I have to leave? I do declare I am the most teenage skateboarder ever.
Well, I say so. I will say. So near the time of which if if I ever get an audition where I have to do an American accent, maybe I'll do an entire episode of this podcast in that accent, and then you can tell me if you think it's another person completely, or if it's still definitely me.
And that'll be the episode where we're cancelled. Podcast with upwards of 10 listens gets cancelled after Londoner, white Londoner puts on a very offensive deep southern accent.
Yeah. So
what's wrong with it?
Where is he?
Yeah.
So because you don't want to get caught out. Because I had a friend who is an actor, and he said he could do an accent that he couldn't, and it was an Irish accent. And then he went for a read through for a film, and everyone in the room was Irish, and he just went full super offensive Irish, and it was the worst experience of his life. It was just so the more he read, the more they just stared. We're like,
oh man, as if the English hadn't done enough to them.
Yeah, he's like, hello there. Yeah.
Hello there. Do you want a potato?
Yeah. So
look at him like, get the fuck out of here now. So while you were getting signed this week, Tom, I had a busy week myself. I did a STI test from home. You ever done one of these?
Okay. I have so many questions. You didn't have STI test. Not seen anyone for over a year, so ambitious.
Over a year? How dare you? Come on now.
Ambitious.
Months, not years. Months, not years.
Okay. Ambitious. Second of all, I don't really want to know what went wrong with you to feel like you needed to do a home STI test. But
it wasn't. It changed colour. It wasn't its usual green. So I was. Why is it purple? No. So my housemate, she got one in January because she was seeing someone before lockdown. Then they broke up or stopped seeing each other. Side note, bit of gossip. He was a police officer. And so he was like, come over, break the rules to come see me. I was like, you could have sold that story to the Daily Mail. Like, police, Metropolitan Police asking women to break law in order to shag them and stuff like that. Like that could have been. But anyway, side story. Exactly. Yeah. Side note. But yeah, so she was like, you should get one. And I was like, so I guess. So I got one. It's a pain. The peeing bit's easy. I can do the. You got to pee. You got to pee into a pouch and then pour from the pouch into this little.
I've done an STI test before. I'm not. Come on. Of course.
I thought you were just the living hope. I thought you were just like, babe, of course I'm clean. Like
the old Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah, just all I do is say, please God, not AIDS. That's my protection. Yeah. That's my protection. No, so yeah, but then have you done one from home? You've got to do it yourself. So I've never done one from home either. But you've got to prick yourself.
No, that's the same. I do know the prick. The amount of pricks in your hand to get the required level of blood that they want is insane.
Well, this is it. They sent me 3, which I thought, do this in one. Fucking legend. 1 didn't even bleed. Second one bled for a bit. Sorry if you're squeamish about blood. Bled for a bit, but you've got to milk it like that. Yeah. But I was getting next to nothing, and then I did the final one, even less blood. So I didn't have enough. The options were to basically send in what I had, which was not lots, not as much as they said you should, or to cut yourself. And I was like, I'm just going to send that in. That was only for HIV and syphilis. So here's hoping that's not a problem.
Yeah, you got to bring your own knife. Shout out John Long, who has an amazing bit about milking hands for blood. It's very funny.
And then, then you can listen to his episode, John Long. But chlamydia and gonorrhea, I'm going to check out. I'm going to check them out. See what they're saying. But they should be able to find if that's the case. But that was my exciting week. So it was pretty lit. Yeah. So we both had successful weeks, I guess. Really, in a way. Yeah. One got signed for a comedy agent. One might not have gonorrhea. So
I'm going to say, on account of you not leaving your house, it's unlikely. But maybe.
Yeah, I mean, how bad would that be? You got gonorrhea from the fucking couch. Yeah. But I will say, as a statement to men, get yourself checked, because we could all do it a bit more regularly. And it's just one of those routine things you have to put in your calendar. If you're a vicarious man about town, and you just got to do these things as a routine. Don't wait until your pee burns. That's what I'd say.
I'm boring these days. I'm not a man about town. I'm a man who's getting a dog. So I'm not, I was.
Well, that's exciting in a way,
Well, yeah. In one way, that is exciting. In another way, not. But that's whatever. We'll talk about that another time.
Well, when you get the dog, we can talk about what it is. But while we're talking about advice for men, we should probably move on to a very serious topic of conversation. We were debating on how to approach this because obviously people don't tune in. Well, listeners that we thank for listening to this are not tuning in to All I Do Is Fail to get advice on how to be a woman in any way.
Yeah. To men, it's like we do understand that. We really want to take the approach that we understand that we are not qualified really to talk about this, but we are. I do want to speak about it just from the things that we can do as men. For those who don't know the situation, Sarah Everard, is that I 100% want to get her surname correct. Yeah, looks like she's been abducted, although nothing's 100% confirmed. It does look like she was abducted and murdered by a member of the Metropolitan Police. And it's looking like he may have even lured her into his car by saying that he was a police officer who was off duty, and that's how he got her into the car, kind of thing. Yeah, it's horrific, and there has been a lot of now kind of anger, it's rage, quite rightly so, across the internet, because the police have said in and around the area that women should be cautious and maybe shouldn't be going out late at night, kind of thing. And that has obviously sparked an insane amount of rage and anger, because women shouldn't have to feel like they can't walk freely. It's a crazy thing that women can't, every night women feel like they can't get home 100% safe without worrying, and that's in 2021 that is still a mind-boggling thing. I can't really. I've got nothing to equate that to. The only thing I could, equate that to is being mugged a lot as a sort of teenager, and I'm worrying about that. But like, that's just, it's not. It's not, I can't fathom it. It's not something I really ever worry about going home. I'm not stressed by it.
Yeah, the closest I've seen a man to equating it is Dave Chappelle, when he tells a story about how he was only 18 and he had been doing stand-up for a few years and got booked to do what was a corporate gig, but actually turned out to be a gig to some legit like gangsters, like some mafia people, and they paid him. The gig went well, but they paid him by just giving him $2,000 in cash that he had to carry back through New York in the 90s as an 18-year-old. And he felt so scared, because he was like, I've got something. If anyone sees this cash coming out of my pocket or anything like that, I'm going to be fucked. And he was like, that's the closest I've ever felt to being just a woman out at that time. Of course, it is horrific generally. But the reaction from my fellow sex, from some men, and what you're relating to there with the way the police sort of their reaction to it, to say that your immediate argument to be it's not all men, men aren't evil or whatever. If that's your immediate reaction, then you need to start generating some empathy, because this is a problem that fortunately you're not going to have to deal with a lot of the time, if ever. And it might not be all men, but it is generally men who are doing this.
But it is men,
problem.
And rape statistics are for both, all rape, even carried out by men, and men raping men and men raping women. It's still men. Very few women rape or molest men. Very, very few. So it is an issue. It is a male issue. Don't leap to get really angry and defensive. And the all men thing is quite. Not all men thing is quite difficult. It's like not all men. It's just too encompassing of too many things. I just think that's just, and plus it derails from the topic that you shouldn't even be commenting on it at all. It's like, not right now. This isn't the time for you to be defending yourself. Yeah.
Look, like, just try to help as a bloke, offer to walk your friends back or to their house. If you're on a date, offer to walk her home, and not with the intention of, well, I'm going to walk her home so then she can invite me in. Just walk her home just to fucking help out, because it's fucking shit. It's really upsetting to think that a person, and so many people, can be walking at night and it's not safe for them. And it's something that I take for granted, being who I am as a guy, to just be able to do that. I can stick my headphones in and have a walk in the evening through the city, and it's something I really enjoy. And that's just something that a lot of my female colleagues, friends, whatever, wouldn't think of doing, because that's just putting yourself in danger. And it shouldn't be like that. And look, we don't need to sit here and say you shouldn't be raping, molesting, assaulting women. That's obvious. No one's going to disagree with that. But this is not a battle of the sexes. It's so antiquated. Just help out. Just try and help out. Try and understand. Try and listen. I'm trying to do it. We're all trying to do it. And similarly, don't be such a fucking self-righteous man and congratulate and pat yourself on the back. I've never done this. I've never, because you're not helping either, man. Just acknowledge that this is something you need to listen to. It's sad. It really is sad when one of these stories creates or exposes so many stories from so many people in my circle and in the world who've just had similar experiences where they felt unsafe. And I remember when I was at uni in York, we had an alleyway called Rape Alley. We had, and that's what it was known as. To the men and women would call it that. And I remember, and I wasn't there going, we shouldn't call it that. We all thought it was this funny joke because it was just an alleyway that connected the campus to sort of the outside of the campus to not quite the city, and it was just quite dark. And everyone would call it Rape Alley. That sort of stuff shouldn't exist. This shouldn't be an accepted part of society, that don't go out late if you're a woman. That's not. We need to evolve past this. And it doesn't start. I just don't think this starts with women. It starts with the men in our culture who think it is okay to be out there, to be predators and to pick up, and a woman shouldn't be out at night and you should be lock up your daughters. There's a wonderful saying, which is don't protect your daughter, educate your son.
Yeah.
Can we stop this assault on women, and can we help women to be more safe? And a lot of that comes from listening. So look, we don't have the answers. I certainly don't. But any man who's getting upset or angry that this idea that they're being attacked, just like with Piers Morgan, the idea that he's being attacked when it's actually him that's doing the attacking.
It's not
just relax and listen and help.
It's not all men, but it is 97% of women who have felt harassed.
Mad, isn't it? It's a mad statistic. That's not 97% of women in a certain area or a certain age. Like, that is an insane statistic.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just the people getting defensive about it is just insane. And also, it happens at every level. It's not just harassment on the street or abusive behavior on the street. Lots of women have come forward and said about relationships that they've been in, with abuse going on within the relationship and stuff. And so many of the patterns that we've seen as well with abusive relationships is that the man, I've had people this week write in and say that they were in a really toxic, abusive relationship and felt harassed the entire time, and then when they had broken up with the man, that they had then received messages from his ex to show that and that really does show that it's very much a male problem, and it very much is. It's nothing to do with the woman, because he's doing it to multiple people. It's a proper, it's a deep rooted issue within some men. And as two men, all we can do is try and make women feel as safe as possible. Do your best not to be a creep. Do your best just to make women feel safe. And like a bit of education on it and reading and stuff, because like sometimes when you think you are helping, actually women could feel intimidated and harassed, and not like it. So just being really aware of your surroundings and when and where you're speaking to women and how you're speaking to them. Especially if it's at night, or especially, whatever, like it's, yeah.
Yeah. That's, I mean, look, as I said, we haven't got our own stories to tell on this, but it's a really sad story this week. And when you add that to the then outpouring of similar stories that didn't end so horrifically but were near misses from so many, as you said, 97% it's really tragic, and it's something that needs to change. And it changes with men. It doesn't change with women. It changes with men.
It changes with men, and just, I don't know. It's just I can't equate to it. Is that statistic, and then when you read about women not feeling safe at night walking in London, it's just something that really never really thought about. And like, as I said, maybe a bit when I was a teenager and was getting robbed, that was it. But like, really, as an adult man, I've never felt unsafe at night.
And also, it's like, it's a different kind of safety, isn't it? It's like, when you're that age, I've had it before as well. Growing up in London, you're gonna get your phone stolen, you're gonna get beaten up, but
you're not gonna get killed. You're not gonna get raped either. Well, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, and that is just such scarring, such a horrific experience for anyone to go through, and genuinely terrifying. And so you stop trying to. It's not competition. Stop trying to empathize. Stop trying to be like, well, men struggle with this, and it's like, it's a different issue. We don't have to deal with this, not nearly as much, not nowhere near. So just listen.
It does ilk of the meme of just like, cats are better, no, like dogs are better, but like, what you're not saying about horses really shows you what character you are. You know, they're all like just dragging issues that are absolutely nothing to do with the issue that's currently at hand into the argument. Does nothing but derail and take things away from what actually is going on and needs to be spoken about and addressed now. And like, please, for anyone who is trying to argue, or trying to say that, it's just not the time. It is not the time. Let's deal with this issue, and do our best to deal with it, and address the problems that we have created in society, and educate ourselves to go forward and do better, kind of thing. It's just mad. It's just still mad that we live in a time in society, we're in a major city in 2021, and one of the most developed cities on earth, where that's still a genuine. It's
very sad, and more worrying as well that this could be as well from a member of someone who's supposed to be keeping the place safe. The police force, who have received a lot of, you can call it criticism or scrutiny over the last year for what they do in the society. And look, there's a lot of police out there who do a very fine job, but that's more worrying as well, that this is so deep rooted that it's not like it's this vicious criminal who's someone who's out on the loose or whatever. It's from people who are supposed to be respected in society, who are doing these really disgusting and heinous stuff. And look, there's a lot to be upset about in this story, and it is very sad. And you just got, if the guys out there, you just got just please stop being so angry about feeling like you're under the knife. You just listen to, just listen.
Some of the comments in the comment sections I've seen and been flying around about some of the men, just so insane, and just the anger and bitterness from men. It's just, who just feel attacked, and you're just like, you're adding to the problem. Just listen and be okay with it. Just don't. By getting angry, you're not helping at all. No one is saying that it's all. No one is saying that, but we are saying that it is a problem and it does need to be addressed.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here's hoping we can progress and use this awful instance as a way to start a dialogue that's much needed.
Right. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the agony uncle section, a slightly lighter note. Okay. Right. So I have for you quite an interesting tale of a nice lady and her boat wife. Okay, so this is for those of you who have grown up in London and walked around the canals of London, and always thought, oh, living on a boat on a canal, that could be fun. That's a change of pace. That'd be a good old time. This is why it's not such a laugh. Okay, in lockdown, all boat people have been asked to stay put unless it's essential. Normally, we move every 2 weeks. After the first lockdown, we did a huge summer cruise up the Grand Union, down the Oxford Canal, and then the Thames. Does actually sound quite lovely. Okay, that's fun.
Nice. They have nice words.
Now we've been stuck in Little Venice since November-ish. Again, okay, you're showing off a bit here.
Tough.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So,
oh my God, we've been stuck in Little Venice. Could you believe it? I know, and that's not the worst part. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So anyway, boat wife / bubble got bored in lockdown, and decided to put the boat up for sale, selling to get a bigger boat. We've cruised together for about 2 years, on and off as neighbors, and the plan was always to sell and go bigger for her, okay? But timing has it that she sold the boat, cruised away to get the boat craned out of the water for a survey. I really shouldn't move till lockdown lifts. My bubble floated away. Basically, she was left homeless without a boat, okay? So she was told that she was going to have a boat, no boat for her. And now, okay, she has nowhere to live and can't even collect her post because she has no address. So you got no. This is the issue. If your boat goes away or you lose your boat, you then have no address and no ability to collect mail or sign up for bills or anything. And she doesn't know what to do, and she can't find a new place and can't collect mail or do anything until her boat wife comes back with a new boat, but she has no idea when that will be.
I don't understand how this has happened. So who's the boat wife? What is
a boat wife? Is like, I assume her friend. A boat wife is her friend. Her friend
and
who
her
she
friend
lived with
has sold the boat to get a bigger boat.
And said, oh, I'm going to get a bigger boat, but she didn't expect it to take as long as it is.
But where does the wife living? Where's the boat wife living? Are they both?
I don't know. I guess the boat wife.
Aren't she moving with the boat wife?
No, the boat wife is staying with friends, I think. Right? So she's just left her stranded in the pandemic, nowhere to go, no boat to sail on, and you can't even get your mail, you can't do anything.
Shit. Well, I'll just go live with Tom. I'll post the address on the All I Do Is Fail Instagram. I'll post that address, and it's a lovely bit. I've been there once or twice. Tom doesn't know that, but I've been there, and
I'm only under my bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's sleeping when I'm there, but but it's a lovely place, and and they're getting a dog soon, so you enjoy that, and you could just go live with Tom. That's really upsetting though for that person that they're left with nowhere to live, because I don't know what this boat wife person is not a good boat wife. I think I'm worried
to leave you stranded with no boat and no, no home is pretty.
This is where she needs the All I Do Is Fail Butlins experience to take her woes away.
Yeah, 2 weeks in Butlins. It's a 4-week trip. 1 week isolation. Party for a week in Spain, 2 weeks isolation in the Butlins. Perfect. 4-week experience. Come back, your boat wife. Got the new boat then. All good.
Got the new boat. Shitter.
I suppose shitter on the boat wife to just be like, yeah, I'm leaving you stranded. I'm sailing this boat away to trade it in, get it craned out the water.
So I suppose what I'd do is you message your friends and say, where can I stay? Can I stay on another boat? If you've got no friends, then if you've got enough money I'm not sure what's happening with hostels and hotels at the moment, but they must be still allowing you to stay there if you can pay for a room, which I'm hoping you can.
I think it looks a bigger problem. Our neighbours upstairs just moved out, and they were saying that just in Islington alone, not that I live in Islington, there is
smooth. I don't want to hide it, Tom. I'm posting the address. I'll post the address now.
No worries. Yeah. There was something like 1,000 empty 1-bedroom flats because so many people have left London.
Yeah, of course. They don't need to live near the city anymore. It's not a big deal. So look, like there must be. And do you want to stay on the boat? This is another thing. Your boat wife. I think your boat wife has a lot to answer for here. Boat wife has a lot to answer for. And I think they need to. You should also make them accountable for that. Be like, look, I know when we're sailing the canals, it's all pirates and fun, but this is real life now, bruv. And you have left me stranded here, and this is on you. You've got to help me. She's done a mutiny.
Like Jack Sparrow left her on the island, okay, and just went, "There we go.
I'll be coming back with a bigger boat."
Don't worry.
Sauntered off. And there's no boat. There's no boat coming. I think you should hold her accountable. I think it's a thing that is important to do. And a lot of people don't with their friendships is when there's something they have an issue with, they don't talk about it and they just prefer to resent them for the rest of their lives. So I think it's a good thing to talk with her and to message and just say, look, you've really let me down here.
Because Ali has a dartboard with my face on it in his room. So guys, it's important. It's important to talk about your issues.
Dartboard and a pillow, depending on how I'm feeling.
Don't let the hate build, is what we're trying to say.
Don't let the hate build. Let her know that she's let you down, because she has let you down. This is completely unfair on you. So let her know that and say, look, you've got to help me out here, mate. And then ask your friends. I had a friend sleep on my couch for a month here when he was in between places. Not my friend anymore. He broke in, really, but
all of my shit refused to move. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, he said it was a builder. He just came in and never left.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. But and you know, that's absolutely fine. Don't feel shame about that. Yeah. But where's her stuff?
In storage, I guess.
Questions.
So many questions, yeah. But yeah, I just don't leave people stranded, especially in the pandemic, because it's a nightmare to try and find a new place. Right, should we move on to a bit of fail mail?
Yeah, let's do a bit of fail mail. And thank you very much for sending your fears in. And I use the term, this is what I was taught in some sort of woke fucking PC shit I was doing the other day. There we go. It was actually, I think it was actually in a show called Masters of Sex. Now that does sound like a show I watch, and I didn't actually watch it, but my friend did at uni, and she said that it was about them. This is a very big tangent from Fears, but it was a show. I think it had Martin Sheen in it, and it was a TV show about them discovering more about sex in the 60s, because medicinally, in science, they hadn't explored sex much because it was very taboo. It was like you can't research into sex because that's just a thing we do in private with the married people. And so they were doing that. But part of getting over the stigma around stuff was, instead of saying stuff was weird or strange, you say it's uncommon. So that's why I said...
So these aren't your worst fears. These are things you have a complex, uncommon relationship with.
Complex, uncommon... Right, that's enough. Yep, I've had enough. All right, take care. See you later. Yep.
Bloody hell, I can't even say you're scared of something. Huh?
That's it. Well, you can't say something's weird. I mean, what are you going to say? If I see someone with a fucking weird head, am I not supposed to say, "Oh, weird head"? I've got to say, uncommon head.
Mate, look... Bloody hell! It's just too much. It's just gone too bloody far. Like, right, let's hear them then. Things you've got a complex and uncommon relationship with.
Okay, a couple of ones which to test you. Do you know what trypophobia is?
No.
Do you want to guess?
Trypophobia. Sorry, I thought
trypophobia.
Well, that's going to be of a tripe, like trifle. Tripe.
My God, how is he so quick thinking?
Yeah.
No, actually, that's what I thought as well. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see it, because I'm just going to get it up. But it is fear of sort of small holes and little sort of seeds and sort of bubbly sort of look. Okay. But loads of people sent this in. I'll post. Well, I won't post a picture because we've got so many people that are scared of it. But it's like little spores, little like holes, like the idea of like a honeycomb.
In you, or like,
so maybe they could be in you, but just generally, just little holes, and the idea that something might come out of them. So a lot of people are saying trypophobia. I'll give you another couple to see if you know them. Do you know? Fucking hell, I've got to try and pronounce this. Paraskevedacatria phobia.
No, can't say I do.
Fear of Friday the 13th.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's fun.
And you want to guess what this one is? The clue is in the name. It's... You're not going to get it. It is hippopotamonstroses quipedaliophobia.
Okay, well, hippos.
You'd think so, but no.
Right, completely wrong. Yeah.
But the clue is in the name, because it's a fear of long words. And it's a fucking long word.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Did anyone actually say they had a fear of long words? I mean, as dyslexic, I can 100% relate to that. And I'm fully on board.
You know that. Yeah. Where's that 3 syllables in? You're like, fuck
okay. Maybe I've got that. I can never be able to pronounce it, but I've definitely got it.
Yeah, so I'll run through a few of them. Thank you very much for sending them in. And apologies that if you genuinely deal with this, we'll try to be sensitive, but we also got to laugh at these things. Yeah. Also, fuck you, whoever said gingers. So thank you for that.
That was just me on different accounts.
28. Yeah, exactly. Fear of balls, like in sports, before you get worried. A sleeping person opens their eyes and starts talking.
What? Okay. Interesting.
Fear for sex, which I think that probably could be quite common. I'll just read this as written. Animal poops. Always feel there is one there waiting for me to step into.
You know what? I stepped on a dog poo for the first time in about 10 years the other day, and it still got me, and it was still fucking annoying, and like, oh, for God's sake, and you just feel like such an idiot, and you're like, oh, like a child. I'm like, right, I'm gonna go find a patch of grass to rub my shoe on now, and like, oh God.
You feel like you're the villain in a shit kids TV show.
Yes, exactly.
And you're like, damn.
Bloody.
I'm so afraid of cats. I don't trust them. I always think they can kill me. Someone's ink and pen on my hands. Okay. Someone's typed in gasophobia, brackets, fear of all sense about gas.
As in Gaza? As in.
That's what I thought it might be.
Or do
I have no idea.
Are they trying to say maybe gas? Because a gas would be more sort of reasonable.
What do you think of these ones? Unicorns? Bananas.
Well, unicorns don't exist. So I don't...
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
fear of someone ruining unicorns, maybe.
Bananas.
Yeah, bananas, yeah.
Okay.
Got a couple who said feet, socks on at all times.
Feet, I understand.
Wax models. Nah, I get that. Nocturnal aquatic animals, which is very specific.
What is a nocturnal aquatic animal?
I don't know exactly. Well, that's the sort of fear. That's the question. Yeah. It could be fucking anything. I can't touch dough or even say that word. Typing it makes me feel sick. So there you go.
Wow. Okay.
Dolls, which my boyfriend threatened to scare me with next Halloween. And I just want to say on that one, your boyfriend sounds like a bloody legend. Fair play. Bloody laugh. Mate, you shouldn't be scared of classic chat. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Bloody terrified.
Bloody terrified. I see why you're terrified of this absolute classic chat, because you've not got any. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh.
Phobia of bullshit. Sadly, very hard to avoid, but since I deleted Twitter, the symptoms cleared up.
Ooh,
If you got a phobia of bullshit, I'm not sure why you're listening to our show, but there you go. This is I don't even want to begin this one. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Being too happy that makes me feel like I forget how to be sad. Thus, happiness becomes worthless.
Okay, I feel like that's probably more deep-rooted issues that they've got going on there. But that does ilk of the people being like who wrote in for the Agony Uncle section saying they had 2 jobs and things like that, and life was going too good.
Yeah. What's your fear?
That's my issue.
My phobia is probably being too successful, I guess. Because then
well, I have time for everything in my life if I'm that successful. It's no time.
I'm a bit worried, because I'm actually not felt sad or upset for ages, so I'm probably just smashing it a bit too hard.
I'm due a bit of sadness,
Chewing gum sticking to my trousers. That's why I don't sit on bus seats with a dirt spot. Fair enough. I cannot. This is again reading it as they've said. I cannot stand the sound of people brushing their teeth. Shudder.
Yeah, fair. Like I don't want to be dismissive of any. I guess teeth brushing. Okay.
Submechanophobia. What do you think that is?
Submechanoph. I don't know. Tell me.
Machinery under the water.
Okay, I was going to go.
So they said sharks are fine. Giant underwater propellers.
Okay, you know what? Like boat issues. I have seen someone once get sliced by a boat, and it was horrible. So yeah.
Oh, fucking hell!
Yeah.
Grim. Why? I don't want to hear. Well, there's just a couple more. This came from 2 different people, but I like to think the stories are linked. Someone said balloons. Then someone else messaged, I heard of someone who had to leave work when they discovered there were balloons in the building. Tomato ketchup, devil spawn, slugs. And slugs, I feel it's pretty easy to escape slugs. I don't know what a slug chase would look like.
They do always appear where you least, it's always, I flip something over, a slug.
This one's from friend of the show, George. The super huge electric pylons. Don't like walking under the cables with the buzzing. Fair enough. grumpy, ever-complaining neighbours. It's a fear. Strange. And then having a heart attack, which again you can't really do.
Yeah.
Sending mass mails, and this is very millennial. Very millennial. Sending mass mails, and also making telephone calls, and also iPhone cameras.
They've got a lot going on. You need to go and live in 1937, I think. That would be
yeah. You need to be a bit more retro. But that's it. So there's a few there. But thank you very much for everyone. Sorry we couldn't read them all out. Someone also has just said, with an exclamation mark, sponges! That is from Fear of a friend of the show, Leanne. But thank you very much for sending in your phobias and fears. Look, good luck with dealing with them. I hope they don't debilitate you. And thank you very much for sharing with them. And hopefully one day we can all laugh about them together.
One day. Right. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I know we were handling quite a serious topic and wasn't always as upbeat and cheery as we normally are, but we do think it's important to talk about these matters, and we will continue to address any major cultural issues that do come in and out of all our lives. So yeah, thank you for listening. You can follow me at all good social media platforms, Ali.
Yeah, same. Ali Woods gigs. And yeah, very sad news this week, but look, stay safe out there and help each other out. And that's the main thing. Listen to each other and help out. And thank you very much for spending another week with us. And we'll see you next week. Patreon backers, Tuesday's episode to come. Thank you again to everyone who backs us on Patreon and supports us. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to join and just for $5 a month get an extra episode every week, you can do that at patreon.com/AIDIFpod.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.